So we've been on our fitness and food journey for probably a little over 2 years now. Yeah? Yes, I would say yes. So tell me how you got started on your food and fitness journey. Well, I guess it would have started just like anyone else's. I was unhappy in my body. I just didn't feel comfortable and I wanted to be stronger and more capable. And if I'm being completely honest, I wanted a flat stomach. How did you get started or get interested in working out at home? One of my girlfriends at work had signed up for the Planet Fitness Black Card, and that meant that she was able to bring a friend. I was that friend. But we had different schedules and they just weren't meshing well. So I decided to not be a burden on her and get my own membership. The gym is an absolutely scary place to me. It's incredibly overwhelming and you just feel out of place there when you don't know what you're doing or you're just not comfortable. That whole gym intimidation thing is very real. Before, when I would go, I would just stick to all things cardio and then the weight machines. And nothing is wrong with either of those things, but all things cardio is not going to work. I'm not going to build strength from that, maybe endurance, but not the strength that I wanted to build. And the weight machines to me just felt very restricting. I wanted the free weights. I wanted to just go pick up weights off the rack and work out. So when I got my own membership, I found a fitness routine online, Googled something about beginning weightlifting for women, and found a 4-week program that I printed out and folded up that little piece of paper and carried it with me in the gym as if it was a human being. It was literally my trainer, my security blanket, in the gym with me every day. I always had it, and just having that with me and following along with the program for those 4 weeks, it really built up my confidence. It also helped for me to shut my inner negativity down and say, girl, you're mid-30s, you've had 2 kids by C-section, you can do this, and you can shut out the negative noise of anybody else or stop being insecure or feeling like you don't belong here. Because everybody belongs in the gym. So that's what I told myself, and that helped myself along. When that 4 weeks was over, I kind of was a creeper in the gym, and I would watch other people and see if whatever they were doing was something that I might want to do. So I would mimic their moves, or I would just find stuff online to do. But I'm no trainer. I'm definitely not educated in fitness at all. So trying to put a routine for myself together for the gym, it wasn't working for me, and I needed someone that knew what they were doing, and I wasn't in the position to pay someone. So I decided to turn to online on-demand workouts through Beachbody. It made a world of difference for me, especially with sharing custody of my kids. I didn't have to wait until they were at dad's house to go work out. I can now work out at home in my living room in front of my kids while they're sleeping. At any time of day, it didn't really matter. While we're watching a movie, I can get my workout in. Being able to work out at home gives me more variety of time that I can work out. Going to the gym limits my availability. Working out at home, how have you made that work for you? And how do you find the motivation? So I kicked motivation to the curb a long time ago because it's a tricky little thing. It comes when you can't grab onto it and run. It's when you're busy, when you're at work, when you're driving somewhere, and then by the time that you're ready for motivation to actually be there for you, to have your back, motivation's gone. Motivation is not there anymore, and there's something else dangling in front of you that you would rather do. And so you do that. I rely heavily on discipline and my why and my goals. I want to be able to keep up with my kids. When we go play at the park or a trampoline, indoor trampoline park, I want to be out. Tag me in, coach. I want to be out there playing with them, doing everything that they're doing. I want to keep up with the energy that they have. Now, granted, they have way more energy than I'll ever have again, and that is fine. But as long as I am able to get out there and run around with them and play tag with them and play soccer or play basketball, go run around and jump around in a trampoline park, that is my discipline and what helps to keep me focused on getting my workouts in. I also absolutely love the way I feel. Being sore is one of my favorite things because it really just makes me feel like I've put in that work. But also, it's little things, the progress I make in my workouts, the one more push-up that I can do, the few more seconds in a plank, the before when I could barely do the workout and now I'm just completely crushing it. It's those little things that excite me and that keep me going. And I just absolutely love what it does for my body. Not just the outside, which is a complete bonus, but the inside. I'm working out my organs and like everything. It just benefits. Compare the gym and working out at home for me. So working out at home is obviously more convenient and way easier for me, and I absolutely love it. But the gym definitely has more than what I have at home. I mean, I have a few sets of weights, not very heavy. I don't have any cardio machines. I don't have the space that a gym has, but I also don't have to wait for anything. I have the weights that I need. I don't have to wait to finish any sets for somebody else being on a machine. I can sweat absolutely everywhere in all the crevices. I can look as crazy as I want to. My breath can smell. I can have wild BO. I get to do it barefoot in my living room. I don't have to feel like I have to look good or like sweat right, you know? I just get to be comfortable and at home and grunt and, you know? I get to do all of that and get an amazing workout in. So it's very comfortable being at home, right? And for a lot of people, it's harder to work out at home because it is the comfort of their own home. What advice would you give to someone that maybe is not comfortable being at the gym, but thinks that working out at home is too convenient? I would say the fact that working out at home is so convenient that it's definitely something that you should do, especially if the gym area is too intimidating, if it's too overwhelming for you. I joined Beachbody for a reason. Their programs are amazing. They have the greatest trainers. I have two favorite trainers that I always follow, that any of their programs I will do, and I have done them multiple times. I do not get bored. I don't have to think about anything at all. I get to put on my workout clothes and press play. I get to watch whatever I want to watch on TV and do my workout at the same time. Football Sundays, I'll never miss because I get to do my workout and watch football at the same time. Like, there's no reason that, okay, so here's this. If you don't have the discipline to go to the gym and work out, you're not gonna have the discipline to work out at home. So It really doesn't matter where you work out as long as you have the discipline to actually go through with it and do it. So my advice is find the discipline to go after what you want with your body, because otherwise you're just not going to do it, and we're all going to be sitting here hoping and dreaming to wake up in the body that we want instead of actually going for it. Dive in a little more about food. What do you eat? Do you follow a diet? Have you ever followed a diet? I've never dieted. I don't diet. I honestly don't believe in diets because diets are meant to be a short period of time, in my opinion. They are meant to get you to a certain goal and then you move on from there. So you would probably go back to regular eating, and then whatever happened in the diet is just, that's all that was for. I change my eating. I adjusted. I pay more attention to nutrition labels, or ingredient labels, than I ever have in the past. Once you start reading those and understanding those ingredients and those chemicals, it kind of turns you off to the foods that you thought even were healthy. Some of those healthy foods, they don't have the greatest ingredients in them. But once you realize that and you can balance your food intake with maybe more home cooked meals and every once in a while the processed foods, I don't see the problem with that. I have found my own version of healthy in mixing up takeout with home cooked meals, with the better for you junk foods, with the chips and the snacks. And that is just, it's what I've done. It's what I've focused on. So I've been able to make lifestyle changes that are not diets. I'll see diets and I like to pick and choose, like maybe they have a great recipe for something, but I'll never diet. I'll add stuff to my daily intake or take things away from it or adjust here and there, but I don't diet. I don't believe in it, because if it's not sustainable forever, whatever results you get in that time frame that you change everything so much, they are going to go away once you stop. I don't ever want to stop. I just want to continue to adjust as I go along. And that as I go along is the rest of my life. So it doesn't mean that I have to hard and fast do one thing. I can constantly change. Maybe 1 week I want to be a vegetarian, big deal. Maybe 2 days out of the week I'm going to be a vegetarian. I know a girl that does that. One of my girlfriends, she has a day where she lets herself eat gluten, and she has a day where she's strictly vegetarian, and the rest of the time she just kind of eats normal. Now that's what works for her. You have to find what works for you and live by your own version of healthy, no matter how often that version changes or you update it. There's this inner battle when it comes to what we eat. How do you combat that struggle? Oh, the angel and demon of food. I used to beat myself up about food. I would really dig into myself. You wouldn't notice it, but I really would. And food is not the villain. I've come to understand that. My decisions about food and my thought process over food are what make food bad. We tend to villainize food and blame what we're eating on how we look, but we are the ones putting that food in our mouths. Food doesn't just hop in there. It doesn't, you don't slip and fall and oops, the cupcake fell in your mouth. That's not how that works. We make the conscious decision to eat. So if we are going to make that conscious decision, then we need to make the decision on eating the healthier version of food, making more food at home, even making cupcakes at home, but maybe making a healthier version of the cupcake and the frosting instead of buying everything off the shelf and making it out of a box or the frosting out of the tube or the tub, whatever it is. We have to regulate what we're eating and recognize that Maybe what we're eating at that point in time isn't always the greatest, but that doesn't mean we have to overindulge in it and consistently only eat that. You know, there's this saying that one donut out of the box isn't going to hurt you, but the entire box will. So don't overindulge. Don't binge on the bad food, and don't beat yourself up for eating the bad food. We don't need to dig ourselves a hole and pile on even more just because you had a crumb of a cookie and now the world is ending. It doesn't need to be that way. We don't need to live that life like that. We can eat bad and eat the healthy at the same time. What advice would you give about regulating your food intake, so to speak? The balance and moderation part of it. Oh, it always seems like it's always the resolution to eat healthy. But when we say that, I think we're thinking of other people's versions of healthy. What is your version of healthy? We need to figure out our version of healthy before we can actually strive to eat healthy, because your version of healthy and my version of healthy might be two completely different things. But as long as you are comfortable with your version of healthy, that is what matters. Now, if your version of healthy includes a soda once or twice a week, then that's fine. My version of healthy doesn't include soda because I don't drink soda. There's no judgment because you want to drink soda and I don't. It's up to you. You have to figure out that version of healthy. Okay, so how would you suggest figuring out that version of healthy? That's a difficult one. That one's pretty hard because we're all different. So I found my version of healthy pretty quickly, actually. I watched a docu-series on HBO Max called Not So Pretty. Now, it has nothing to do with food, absolutely nothing to do with food. It's all about beauty products and what we put on our skin and whatnot. That flipped my entire world upside down about the actual chemicals that are going on our bodies, that it helped me look more into the ingredients that we're putting in our bodies. Now, the amount of chemicals that our food is made with to mass produce food is astounding. It's absolutely nuts. So, I would just say, start looking at ingredient labels and pay attention to all the ingredients that are in there. Pick one of those ingredients, look it up, do a little research on the Googles for it. And if you're okay with continuing to eat that, then okay, pick a different one. If you're not okay, every single time you go shopping, everything you're gonna put in your cart, look at the ingredients to see if that one ingredient is in there. And if it's in there, then don't eat it. Now, every now and then, okay, fine. I mean, come on, we all are allowed to indulge. But for the most part, eliminate that ingredient. And after you've eliminated that ingredient and it's become routine, pick another one. And then pick another one. Now, that's not going to say that you'll never eat it again, but for 80% of the time, don't eat it. Or 80% of the time, drink water instead of juice or soda. Or 80% of the time, make your own juice at home instead of store-bought, sugar-ridden juice on the shelves. It's a process. And let it be a slow process. It doesn't need to be an overnight process, because the overnight process gets incredibly overwhelming and causes the quits. We don't want to have the quits. Let's avoid the quits. Take it slow. Take it day by day. Do the 7-day food challenge and figure out where it is you could actually eliminate some things, or eat less of some things, or drink more, or eat more of the good stuff. Let it happen slowly, because the slower that you go, the more routine it's going to be, and it's going to be second nature. It's not even something that you'd pay attention to anymore. It's just going to be something that is. Any parting words you want to say for this? Yes, definitely. Food and fitness is a journey. It's a lifetime journey. And when you decide to commit to that journey, let it happen the way it's going to happen. Don't force anything on yourself. Don't expect overnight results. Give yourself 6 months to see results. You'll feel results immediately, but give yourself 6 months to actually see results. Take it month by month, day by day. Give yourself a goal, split it up into 12 months for the entire year. Take a tiny goal at a time. If you don't feel that you have reached that goal in the 1 month, let it roll over into the second month. Don't pile more onto yourself than you can handle. Let the process take as much time as you need. Shut off the outside noise and focus on your health and making it work for you, because that is, in the end, what is actually going to work. And remember, we are allowed to pivot and change direction. We do not have to continue on a path that is being blocked by whatever is not working for us. Change your direction. Your path can look as crazy as it needs to, as long as it's something that is working for you. Thank you for joining this inner talk today with Taryn. If you thoroughly enjoyed it, please like and subscribe for more.